Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have been studying the topic in Culmination of Human Life, in the chapter Culmination of Human Life, called the role of religion. So what is the role of religion? It is to make us comfortable in life. How do we become comfortable in life? By getting some education on life. It is the role of religion to be able to sort of tell us what are the truths of life. But it seems to do everything but that. So now, the very, very sad part is if people say, are you a religious organization? We are forced into saying, no, but that's not true. We are. This is religion. Education on life is religion. But that's not what people understand by that term. They understand it as some faith, some kind of ritual, some kind of belief, uh, you know, a discussion on whether God exists or not, or karma exists or not. We do all this because we try to just deal with some facts. It's our business to find out some facts in life. And when we find these facts in life, we'll be very comfortable. It's quite simple. It's not rocket science. Vedanta is the world's simplest subject. If we don't understand it, it is because we are doing something else. Otherwise, it's the most easy, the most commonsensical. Um, what can you say? There's nothing complicated about it. It's quite simple. But we will not listen to it. We will do our own original thinking and create confusion. So let's be very clear always on the flow of thought. Because one way of avoiding that confusion is just staying with the flow of thought. So let's see, what have we done so far? We started the topic role of religion. And we said firstly, what is the word relation, right? So it just comes from re-ligare, that means to join back. That means to join back to what? Obviously to something you already are. So the purpose of relation is not so much as to give you something, but to remove all the non-essentials. That's it. And when you remove all the non-essentials, life is very, very comfortable, very, very happy, very, very blissful. Absolutely nothing to complain about. So when you just get that much, it's quite simple. So what is this addition that we have made to ourselves? We have gone and identified with our body, mind, and intellect and believe that that is us. Now this sounds to us like, oh my God, am I not my body, mind, intellect? Sounds like something frightening. But actually it's not that complicated. What does it mean that you've identified with your body, mind, intellect? It only means that you are giving something in life more importance than it is due. And there's nothing complicated. You are giving it more importance than it is due. So you can say, what's your problem? I'll give it as much importance as I want. Yeah, of course, you can give it as much importance as you want. But when you give something non-important importance, the consequence of that is just a shunt here. Is this okay? I'm all the time shifting either this screen or this one. I hope everything is clear everywhere.
Sound is slightly faint today, Janki ji. But it's okay, we can hear.
Okay, is this getting any better as I approach the screen a little bit more?
Yes.
You're seeing a one gigantic head over there, so apologies for that.
Janki ji, maybe you can speak a little louder if it's not too difficult. It comes very faint. The sound is quite faint.
Okay, is this good?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So where were we? Okay. Giving something not important importance. Not important means giving something more importance than it is due. So what's the problem with doing that? When you give something more importance than it is due, there is one immediate consequence. Whenever you shift away from truth, there is one immediate consequence. Can you give it to me in one word so I know that you know the answer? Just one
Agitation.
word. Very good. Very good. Excellent. See how nice this class is. You will get agitated. Simple. Nothing complicated. You will get agitated. If you ever get agitated in your life, you can ask yourself, now what am I giving importance that is not important? Because if you give the right thing importance, you won't be agitated. So, I think today's class motto is how simple the whole thing is. Not complicated. If you say, oh my God, I understand Vedanta, but it's very difficult to practice, then you haven't understood it. Because the moment you understand it, it will all become very easy. You can't say Vedanta and difficult in the same thing. If you say difficult, that means not understood the concept. Otherwise, what's difficult? The moment you understand it, you feel like, oh my God, like a whole weight taken off your shoulders. If you feel a weight on your shoulders, then you haven't got it. So don't give something undue importance. You get agitated. So we can call this by various names. We can call it ego. We can call it selfishness. We can call it ignorance. You can call it all these things, right? You can call it anything. But the fact is, it's very simple. You're just giving something importance that should not, in this circumstance, be given that importance. That's it. So you enjoy a mango, for instance, and you give that mango excessive importance. When you, in your mind, you've done this already. And then that starts a stream of events. Now, if you've given it so much importance, what all will come out of it? You will start thinking in terms of when you like, give me more mangoes. Give it to me and don't give it to that person. All this stuff will start. Okay, now you collected a lot of mangoes and you ate lots of mangoes. Then what will happen? You find that the mangoes are giving you no joy any further. Not only that, now you got a stomach ache also. So all sorts of things start getting added on. Why are they getting added on? Just because you're not associating with the facts of life. These facts can be called truth. So when we say stick with the truth, people will say, I always tell the truth. Wait, it's not about telling the truth. It's about sticking with the fact of life. When we can't figure all this out in our head, we start making mistake upon mistake and suffer the consequences thereof. Therefore, what should we do? Therefore, okay, so then he explained how we get into that mess, right? We give it unnecessary importance. We think that object is causing me so much happiness. I must get that object. No, that object is not causing you happiness. This should be evident, right? Objects cannot cause you happiness. How can an object cause you happiness? It's not possible. There's only one thing that can ever cause you happiness, and that thing is
realizing yourself.
Self-realization.
Self-realization.
now see, this is where you people make a mistake. You all are right but wrong.
Truth.
Removal of agitation.
Our own mind, our own thoughts.
See, this is how you all, stuff. Don't hone into the idea. Only one thing in this world can cause happiness. I'm saying only one thing. That means whenever you're thinking about it, wait, listen now. whenever you're thinking about it and you have to think, only one thing can cause happiness. You have to be able to include every form of happiness in that.
Goal, Janki?
Goal.
There are people without goals, are they not
Identification
happy?
with the self?
Service,
Is it
unselfishness.
identification with the self?
Think about any form of happiness experienced by anybody in any space or time. Only one thing can cause happiness. I'm making a statement. Now you must figure this thing out. Don't fly in the sky, please.
We ourselves, our mind, our thinking. Nothing can give us happiness is within.
I said
Absence
only
of desire.
one thing can give you happiness.
Selfless.
What is
Fulfillment. Fulfillment.
Absence of desire.
Very good, Arun. Thank you. There is only one thing capable of giving anybody happiness. There is no other way this can be done. Now you're finding one thing. That means when Dawood Ibrahim has done something horrible, poor fellow, he died, no? Can't talk about him anymore. Man, all these guys have died now. We can't say anything about them.
Very much alive.
Oh, he's alive, is he? Sorry. Apologies to him then. Okay, at least our example stays then. Okay. So right. So he's alive. So now we can say whatever we want. It's a strange thing. We can't talk about the people who are gone, but alive people we can say whatever we want. So Dawood Ibrahim. Okay, he's done some horrendous thing to the country, to people, and he's very happy. And that cannot be answered by unselfishness. How do you ask? It cannot be answered by saying self-realization. I think there's only one thing that can cause anybody happiness at any period of time. Whether it was Alexander in his time, or Lao Tse, or Buddha, or I don't know, who was that? Mohammed bin Ghazni, or whoever, Donald Trump. There is only one cause for happiness, and that is
Absence of
Absence
desire.
absence of desire.
No desire.
There is no other way to be happy. There is just no other way. Now you can gain absence of desire by fulfillment of desire. That means you get an object, whichever you wanted, and then you feel happy because you have removed the desire by trying to fulfill it. But when you try to fulfill it and thereby getting happiness, you know what all happens. We already discussed that. But whether you get it by fulfillment or you get it through knowledge, the end result has to be the same. Because until that happens, there's no happiness. I hope that is very, very clear. Because if we don't, I'm not clear about some fundamental facts, then it just goes on and on and on, and we never seem to make any progress. Okay, so there is
Mr.
only.
Janki,
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
I have a question. Janki, I didn't understand Dawood Ibrahim's example.
Okay, so Dawood Ibrahim does something really horrible. Okay, he murders. I don't know whether he murders or not. He does something really horrible. He does something really bad and wicked, and he feels very happy. Now, why is he feeling happy? Can we say that he's happy because he's so unselfish? Obviously not. So, how did he feel happy?
He
Sarah?
satisfied his desire. He fulfilled his desire.
It is as when there is absence of desire, even in his mind, by whatever cause, he will feel a drop in agitations. Happiness is nothing but a drop in agitations. So, by whatever cause you're able to achieve that, you'll be a happy person. Right? So, you want a mango, you want a mango, you want a mango, you want a mango. And then you get a mango. Those agitations drop. And you say, Shanti. Now, if you didn't want the mango so much, which is in the second or third or fourth time you were eating the mango, then what is going to happen?
Will still be happy.
Joy reduces.
There is no agitation because there was no desire for the mango.
1 second. There's some problem here. Yeah, back we are. Now, next time, when you don't have that stronger desire and you eat the same mango, what happens?
You don't feel anything.
No difference.
You don't feel
the
that
same
happy.
happiness.
Why are you not that happy? Because the agitations weren't so much. That is why this is a typical thing women do. No, we shouldn't say that. No, very feminist, very sexist. Okay, this is a typical thing that human beings do. They like something. Then they will tell somebody, have it, it's very nice. Especially your spouse. Have it, it's very nice. The person says, I don't want it, I don't like it. No, have it, it tastes very nice. It's very, very nice. How you force, and the person has it. And then say, did you like it? Wasn't it great? And the person says, okay, it's okay. What truth have you missed over here? Now, I know, don't say things like attachment and all, they're all true, but please talk in this context. What did you miss?
There was no desire in that person.
Right. How will the person, his agitations can't drop because of what you are agitated about. Remember, there's only one way you can get happiness. The agitations have to drop. Otherwise, you can't. Can't be done. It's the only way. So you enjoy something a lot and you want somebody else to enjoy it. But how can he or she doesn't have the desire. Not agitated about that thing. That object can never cause joy to that person. Now, when you force another person to have an enjoyment that he doesn't want, in another context, we will call it attachment. But if you've understood the root concept in the first place, you won't have to listen to it from 100 different perspectives. Just get it the first time you're told. Get it. It's not a lot. Right? So remember, what is the role of religion? It is to take us back to our original. Just let's stop the word there because every other word just confuses us. Reshma, absence of desire would happen only upon self-realization. No, that's not correct, Reshma. Can you correct the sentence yourself?
I'm not sure, Janki ji, because I'm a little confused.
Stop. Think, correct. Read your sentence again and correct it. Reshma's sentence, for those who can't read it, is absence of desire would happen only upon self-realization. Incorrect statement. So,
Before self-realization.
On the path
Will
towards
lead to self-realization.
Absence of desire is self-realization.
Absence of desire is when there is no mental agitation.
no, wait, just correct this. Absence of desire would happen only upon self-realization. I remove or add only words to this line. I'm surprised.
There will be no there will be no desire if you are self-realized.
Just correct this sentence. Take the same sentence. Absence of desire would happen only upon self-realization. Just correct it. Add or subtract words from this.
All. There is a process towards
self-realization.
Very good, Arun. Arun is, yeah, Hemant, Arun, very good. Don't miss. In Vedanta, it's very simple, but it's a bit like math. You have to get all the points in. So, Reshma, now can you correct your sentence? You heard
I didn't get. No, I couldn't hear what that was.
Okay, Arun said the word all. Now, can you correct your sentence?
Absence of all desire would happen upon self-realization.
Yeah. Self-realization is equal to zero desires. Why are you all confused about this? What is self-realization? Zero desires. Why does it give you ultimate happiness? Because you brought it to zero desires. Why do you not get ultimate happiness out of anything else? Because you're not bringing it to zero desires. Same point, right?
So in the example that you gave, that would still be a relative happiness, right? Because now I fulfilled the desire, so now I'm not agitated. But again, another desire will come and the happiness will be gone.
Correct.
Whereas the self-realization would be that there would be no desire eventually.
Yes, correct. So what's your point?
So when you ask the question that in one word, what would that state be? So self-realization is not accurate in
What
that
was
case?
the question? Listen carefully. In this class, you're expected to listen very carefully. What was the question?
What will lead to happiness?
What was the question?
There is only one way to be happy.
Correct. There is only one cause of happiness, and that is the absence of desire. There is no other cause to happiness. That means every single happiness, if you have to account for in this world, ever had by anybody on the surface of this earth, it will be with one cause only. You will feel happy, little more, anything, only by the absence of desire. How will you feel ultimate happiness? By the absence of all desires. But any happiness you feel, relative, absolute, any happiness in the world you feel is only out of one cause, and that is the absence of desire. There is no other cause for happiness.
Okay.
Sri Ram Pandit. Sri Ram Pandit? Are you new to class, Sri Ram?
Yes, Janki.
Oh, when did you join?
Today itself.
Oh, today itself. Okay. Okay, so Sriram, the difference between absence of desire and absence of all desires is absence of a desire and absence of all desires. When you eat a mango, the desire for a mango is fulfilled. That means it's not there, right? But you still have a desire for maybe marriage or children or money or hundreds of other things. Correct? But when you have no desire for anything at all, it's absence of all desires. When you get something and your desire is fulfilled, there's absence of that one desire. Is that clear?
Yeah, so I got a little confused when Reshma said that absence of desire would happen only upon self-realization. You just said that, it should be a complete absence of desires.
Sorry, just say that again.
So if I got it right, the Reshma statement was, what similar to what you said, that complete absence of desires would happen only upon self-realization.
That's correct. Means yes, it is correct that when all desires are gone, it is self-realization. Correct, but that wasn't the question. You have to answer the question asked, not the answer you know. The question was, what is the cause of any happiness?
A lack of desire only.
Yeah, absence of desire. You can't be happy in any other way. That was the question. Yeah. So you can't say self-realization because you've not accounted for Alexander happy because he won a victory at war. You've not accounted for Dawood Ibrahim happy because he, smuggled something, anything else in the world. You're not accounted for the people who've gone to the disco and are enjoying themselves. When we say what is the cause of any happiness, there's only one cause for happiness. Any kind of happiness you may have experienced for any kind of reason, there's only one cause, and that is the absence of desire. Hold on to that statement, everybody. It's an important one.
In our formula, happiness is desires fulfilled upon desires entertained. It is the fulfillment of desire, not the absence of desire, although it may seem the same.
Read the formula. You say, all of you, read the formula. You just said the formula. It is not saying fulfillment of desire. It is saying fulfillment of desire upon desires entertained. What does it mean? Say it in English. If a formula is not, construct of a formula is not clear, then don't go to formula. Think of it in English terms.
Yes, but the point I was trying to make here was was that it is the fulfillment of desire and not absence of desire which brings happiness, right?
ओमकार मार पड़ेगी, क्यों बोल रहे हो बिना मतलब के? सोचो. What are you saying? What is the formula saying? Number of desires fulfilled divided by the number of desires entertained. It is not saying fulfilled, it is saying divided by. If I have 5 desires fulfilled and desires entertained was 0, my happiness is infinite. If I have 5 desires fulfilled and entertained is 20, then my desire is only 1/4. Just study the formula before you ask a question on it, and don't bring in a new thought now. Try and follow this thought. Okay, because it's not clear to you also, so just think about it through thoroughly or follow this thought. Don't bring in another thought, because this itself is difficult to digest apparently. Everyone's struggling with it. I don't know why. I think I'll have a bad teacher, right? Not being explained very well. Struggling with this idea that there's only one way to be happy, and that is absence of desire. Why is it that desire itself can give you, absence of desire alone can give you happiness? Is because happiness as we know it is a comparative term. The only way we experience happiness is because our agitations have gone up and then they drop. That's the only way we know how to be happy. Therefore, you look at people who are in bliss and say, oh, what a boring hoga na unke liye. Because we don't understand it. We don't understand what it means to be always happy. ऐसे कैसे होगा always happy? Boring है ना? Thank you, Sangeeta. But if the teacher was as good as you claim, then she would have communicated. The problem is not, we do not know how not to have desires. Why have you gone to how to not have desires when you have not convinced yourself or you've not understood how desires are ruining you? This is not understood, and we go to the next point, how to remove desires. And then we say, oh, main bichara, I have so many desires. You know, madness going on. Concentrate on one idea. How difficult is that? One idea, just one idea. Focus. The biggest problem to learning is absence of focus on one idea. Don't worry about all the millions of things you know in this world. Just one thing. Find out for yourself. Is this true or false? You have a statement here. There's only one cause for happiness, and that is absence of desire. This is your statement. Now, just focus on that statement with the intent of finding out whether this statement is true or false. That's it. If it is true, accept it, move on. If it is false, reject it, move on. But don't go on to another concept until you've understood this one. I think everybody has to, where is Aditi? Aditi is not here. She's very nicely making a summary of every topic. I would like to tell you all that please make a summary and send it to me, but unfortunately, I'm just not going to be able to read all your summaries. It's like 70, 80 people in the class, 4 classes. I'm not going to be able to do that. But I do hope that at least some people will be able to learn quickly and then be like teaching assistants, and then y'all can send your summaries in. The next lot can send their summaries in. If you 77 have learned it, then y'all can help and say, was that summary correct? So buck up, guys. If you have to get this moving, you have to back up a bit. You have to know the point yourself. Then we can spread it a bit. So, focus. What is the role of religion to make us comfortable? How will it make us comfortable? By telling us some facts. What are these facts we have to know? Just what is the original state? Facts is nothing but the truth, right? That's the original state. You know that. And you're good. What's the difficulty? The difficulty is where you're trying to understand it by methods that won't work. Running all over the world. Even while sitting in class, running all over the world. So focus on one idea. So what did he tell us? That you cannot, the strange, page 123 at least in my book, it reads, the strange phenomenon of deriving happiness from where it does not exist is well portrayed in the reflection of light. It appears to you that it's coming from the mango. It's the reflection of light. The sun above is one, while the reflections of the sun are innumerable in the countless reflecting media in the universe. Imagine, there's one sun above, there's one cause, and its manifestations are infinite. Absolutely infinite. Vidya, क्या नहीं निकाला? Oh, I'm sorry, Surendra, I didn't read your question. What is the difference between absence of desires and fulfillment of desires? Aren't they the same? Fulfillment of desire is one of the two ways towards absence of desire. One way is fulfillment, one way is knowledge or sublimation. So, like a child, you can become happy by getting more toys, or you can become happy by growing up and not wanting those toys. Both ways will lead you to the same result. You say, no, I was happier as a child. No, if you are so happy with those dinky toys, then can you give me your current car and I will give you a dinky car? Are you willing for that? Why not? Because you know that dinky car has no value. So don't say that you were happier then. You may be happier then, but you cannot go back to that kind of enjoyment just because you were happier then. Is it correct to say that agitation is caused by desire? Yes, the only cause of agitation, in fact, the correct thing is the only cause of agitation is desire. There is no other cause of agitation. Okay, so there is one sun above, but its reflections can be infinite, right? There is one cause of happiness. It is the self-will, but its reflections are multifold. Every time your agitations fall, you feel happy, right? You are not bringing happiness from an external source. The happiness is already there. When you remove the covering of agitations, what remains is happiness. We are under the belief that we are going to do something to get happiness. That's an erroneous belief. He says the sun above is one, while the reflections of the sun are innumerable in the countless reflecting media in the universe. There is light in the sun alone. The reflections have no light inherent in them. You appreciate this when you get close and examine them carefully. So it is with the objects and beings of the world. They do not contain any pleasure or joy. It is the bliss of the self that is reflected in them. What you enjoy is reflected bliss. I hope you're getting the thing. You crave for a mango. Get agitated over the mango. You get the mango. You feel calm. You say, the mango caused my happiness. This is known in the context of this paragraph as
Fulfillment of desire? No.
marmalade.
Oh, shit.
Cessation of agitation.
Cause and effect.
What?
Cause and effect.
Is anybody listening? What's going on here?
Janki ji, this concept is a bit complicated.
It's not.
For some reason, I don't know what.
I don't know what is the complication. Just simple. I read it to you and asked you, this is called in the context of this paragraph. What did this paragraph call this phenomenon?
The happiness is within and we are looking outside.
What did the paragraph call this concept?
Reflected happiness?
Very good, Papri. It's very exhausting. I don't know how it is for you. For me, it's very exhausting. Reflected, that's what he said, right? Wait, let's read it again. Reflected bliss. It is the bliss of the self that is reflected in them. You are already a happy person. You got agitated over the mango. You had the mango. Those agitations subsided. The happiness which was within was revealed. So, but you will not say the happiness that was within was revealed. What do you say? The mango caused me happiness. This thing, when you say the mango caused me happiness, according to this paragraph, called it
Reflected happiness.
reflected bliss, reflected happiness. You're misunderstanding. You're going through a certain experience and misunderstanding that experience. Remember what you're talking about. The role of religion is to only tell you facts. They're telling you a misunderstanding. You think the mango caused it. The mango didn't cause it. It is, mango is just one of the millions and millions and millions of reflections of that one sun. Clear or not clear? Not clear.
Clear, Janki ji.
Clear, okay. Okay. Anyone is not clear about this? Thank you. Anyone is not clear about this? Anyone is new? Sorry, is anybody new besides Sri Ram? Anyone else is new in the class today? Sangeeta, same topic that we are on in this book, the one I currently have. It's on page 123.
It's 147 in my book.
147 in the new book.
Okay. So that's older version of the book. So we don't know, Sangeeta, which version you're referring to, but in my book, it's 123, and Deepa and Anita's book, it is 147. But never mind it. It is the same portion we are studying the last few days. So why do you want us to tell you the page number? Have you not been reading it yourself? Focus, 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 focus. That should be a Maha Mantra. Focus, 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 focus. What are we doing? It's like almost like nobody knows in the class ki kya ho raha hai. So therefore, William Cooper told us, he followed the line of thought, religion takes us back to the original. Original is your truth. Whatever is the actual state, it is meant to take you back to that. Right? That's it. Vedanta gives it a name. It calls it to the self. It's a name. It's like saying X. Thank you. It's like saying X. Just X. Any X. What does the word self mean? Not mean anything. What does Brahman mean? Atman mean? God mean? Allah mean? Christ mean? Not mean anything. It's only representative. It's only a symbol of what is the truth. Because this truth is so different from our experience, we want to say it's transcendental. Transcendental means very different from what we are doing. So we get the impression that it's something very far off. It's not far off. It is just very different from how we are looking at it. How we are looking at it. The truth is not far away from it, but how we are looking at the truth is far away from the truth. Okay? So the role of religion is to take us back to the truth, whatever the truth be. It's their role to take it back. Now we misunderstand so much, so it only tries to tell us some facts. That thing which you believe is giving you joy is not really doing that. It is, the joy is already within you. You're not seeking it anywhere because you already are it. Where are you going to seek? You have never got happiness from anything or anybody. You know, we call that relative happiness, and then we say, oh, we get relative happiness from things. No, no, no. You don't get relative happiness, absolute happiness. You don't get any happiness from anything. You get happiness only when the level of desire falls and the level of agitation falls, and the inherent bliss, which is already there, you get a small peek at it until you cover it with something else. It's already covered. Okay, try and look at it like this. Think of a bulb. And a bulb is covered with many, many layers or something. Every once in a while, you pick up one layer and you look at it. So, nice, nice. And then you close it again. This is what we are doing with our life. Vedanta is saying, instead of closing it, pick it up, throw it away, pick it up, throw it away, pick it up, throw it away. One day the light will be seen. Whatever light you're seeing is coming from that same bulb. You're not getting anything else. But you say, no, no, no. You know, this blanket is very nice. Every time I lift it, I get a little light. The blanket is actually covering it. It's not giving you the light. Is that a good example? Are you clear now? Tell me you're clear. Please tell me you're clear.
Yes.
You're just saying that because you're
Yes,
feeling
Janki
sorry
ji.
for
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Huh?
yeah. It's clear, very clear.
Okay. You're not saying it just because you're feeling sorry for me now.
No, not at all.
Okay. So the key message, I should remove the desire to derive happiness from. No, Sangeeta. Oh, thank you, Nisha. No, the key message is not that I should remove the desire to derive happiness from eating the mango. When you eat the mango, the desire goes away. That's why you feel happy. Vedanta is never telling you any should. It's only explaining what's going on. When you contact an object, the desire level falls. Therefore, the agitation level falls. And that is the experience of happiness. That experience of happiness, you associate with the object and believe that the object causes you joy. I hope you got it now. So, William Cooper told us all the things we're looking to give us joy ain't giving it to us because we don't know the facts, right? And therefore, whatever we do is sort of stupid. So, what are the two things we'll do when we get very agitated with desire? Some of us will frustrate ourselves. Oh, I want it so much, but kya karu? Mummy doesn't allow, daddy doesn't allow, mother-in-law doesn't allow, husband doesn't allow, father-in-law doesn't allow, wife doesn't allow, children don't allow, government doesn't allow. We feel very sorry for ourselves because we are in some situation where some external force is not letting us do whatever we want to do. We feel very sorry. Tamasic, first type. Second type, say, who are these people to stop me? I'll do whatever I want. We break the barrier and go for that thing. And cut our fingers. That means we'll face the consequences thereof. So both these methods are not very sensible. This is what everybody does. They either get frustrated or they get indulgent in whatever their desires are. What is a more intelligent method? Seek truth and wisdom. Understand the facts of life. And when you do understand the facts of life, you don't need to seek anything else because you're already happy. Not only are you happy, you're very productive, you're very useful. Everybody's very happy because of you. Everything is good. Your life is comfortable in every way. You love everybody, everybody loves you. You are very productive and effective. You get all your desires fulfilled, whatever little desires you may have. Everything is fine. Everything is comfortable. And it's not complicated. It's your natural state. Because you're a human being, it's a natural state. It's not very complicated. So just make these slight adjustments and you're good to go. Now he's explaining what is that adjustment we need to make. Okay. Are we all clear up to this point? I'm going to repeat. The role of relation is to take us back to the original. It is not to give us some beliefs or anything like that. Superstitions, rituals, beliefs, faith, none of that. To go back to the original, you have to remove something non-essential. What is non-essential is the body, mind, intellect. This body, mind, intellect, which contacts the world and gives us a wrong comprehension of what's going on. When you have a wrong comprehension, you will do wrong things and you will suffer. When your comprehension is corrected, you will not do wrong things and you'll sing and dance like Krishna, a merry philosopher that comes to us, not sobbing and weeping and telling everybody how much philosophy he knows, but living life to the fullest, enjoying every bit of it, being of constructive use wherever he is. I mean, like, what's missing in his life? Everything is fun, everything is glorious, everything is good. Instead of us, we lose such a big burden on my head. Oh my God, it's so horrible, it's so horrible. Why is God doing this to me? We feel so burdened now. There's nothing light about us. We take ourselves so seriously. We take the body, mind, intellect so seriously. We think it's so important that this is happening, that is happening. Krishna is in the middle of a war. He won't take it so seriously. That doesn't mean he's negligent about the least part of it. He'll do everything to the best of his ability. But he's always got a smile on his face. He's always got a smile on his face because he genuinely is not burdened by it. How can we be burdened and then smile? Isn't it possible? We can smile, but be fake. Who are we fooling after all? At the end of the day, either we can put our head on the pillow and sleep, or we can't. Who is asking us? Isn't it? Let's find out what are those facts we need to understand. Are we good? Any questions up to this point? I feel frightened now to ask this question. Anybody who doesn't ask a question pertinent to this point will have to do Uthak Baitak 50 times. If you're Bharat, then you'll have to do 150 times.
Thank you, Janki ji. But Jatin has a question.
Who has a question?
Jatin.
Am I not
Jatin
seeing
in the
it?
chat.
Oh, I'm
It's in the
sorry.
chat.
Why didn't it come up? No, I
I
can.
think you addressed it already, Janki ji, the key message one.
Where?
Yeah, you've answered it, Janki ji. I have my answer. Thank you.
Oh, okay, fine. Where was the question? How did I not see it? I still can't see it, but it's answered, right? So we can move forward. So who will, anyone else has a question? Any on the topic? Not because.
Janki ji, I have a question.
Yeah, Deepa, at your own risk and cost.
No, we do understand about reflected happiness. Having the knowledge, we still indulge in all those desires. What does that mean? That we didn't understand, or we understand and do it, so we are on the right track?
That you will have to tell. How can I tell? If you've understood and you continue to, be in life and make the best of it, then that's great. That's correct. But if you don't understand and you do exactly the same things with ignorance or with understanding. If you do it with ignorance, you will suffer the consequences thereof. If you do it with knowledge, you will enjoy it.
Okay.
So you will know best.
But we are not stopping doing any of that, no?
But why would we?
Okay.
Why would we stop doing anything?
Yeah. Okay.
Why would we stop eating mangoes? Mangoes are good for us.
Okay. Got it.
Mangoes become bad for us when we
think that is giving us joy. When we give
Overindulge.
overeat
When
more
we
important than we should. Yeah.
when you eat too many of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Mangoes
Okay.
will become bad for you if you have too many. Otherwise, that is the natural life, right? It's the season of mangoes.
Yeah.
What else will you eat? You have to eat mangoes.
Okay, Janki Ji, got it. Thank you.
So this is not any advice anyway on any kind of actions that we perform. This is only an understanding of life. Now you do whatever you want. You understand life, do whatever in the world you want. Its joys and its sorrows are yours after all. If you understood it, you will find fulfillment. Not only you will find fulfillment, people around you will find fulfillment. The reason I keep saying people around you, it doesn't count at all really, but I do always speak about that, is because I notice people are saying, oh, I'm very happy, but everybody around them is falling dead because they're behaving in the most selfish, self-centered and horrible ways. Some of them are in class and their families come and tell me that, this is what this person did and this is what that person did. And I'm like, kya bolu? So I realized that this knowledge is often misunderstood. We as human beings can call anything any name. We can be very selfish and tell people that we are being objective. We can be very arrogant and tell people that we are very self-sufficient. Like, who are you fooling and why are you fooling anyone? Because when you do all these kind of things, you only restrict your own happiness. You're restricted. When there's something wrong, it is us who are restricted. For all the misery we are creating for others, it's us who are restricted. At the end of the day, it's us. But how people around us are happy is always a good indication of whether we have learned Vedanta well. If we have learned it well, we should not only be happiness, we should also give. Isn't it? How can we be so happy and make other people miserable? How is that really possible? So, when we say we should be happy, assumption is, of course, everything else will be fine. But when we see it's not fine, we must recheck. That's why this point is always added. Otherwise, there's no need to say that you're causing happiness. A happy person will cause happiness. That's natural. An unhappy person will cause unhappiness. That's natural. Okay, so what is this knowledge? What is this truth and wisdom? But they who truth and wisdom lead can gather honey from a weed. You could be Socrates. If you are Socrates and your wife is Xantippe, Xantippe, she was a virago. She constantly fought with her husband. We can understand her point of view also, because look at what her husband did. He went into the marketplace every day and he philosophized. So she must have said, मेरा husband ये देखो क्या कर रहा है, रोज जाके किसी ना किसी के साथ बातें कर रहा है. So she must have been mad at him. Understandable. But she drove him nuts. Once he was giving a lecture and she was so angry with him, she took all the dirty water and threw it on him in the middle of a lecture. I mean, just a lecture like this. Suppose we were having a lecture on Vedanta and then my husband came in and threw dirty water on me. You could say, Baap re, ye kya ho raha hai? Isn't it? I mean, imagine what that situation would be.
We'll be mortified.
You'd be mortified. You'd be mortified. I'd be mortified too, isn't it? Oh my God, what happened to him? But what did Socrates do? He just said, he was talking that the lecture was about rain and stuff. So he said, sometimes when it thunders, it pours. That's all he said. Sometimes when it thunders, it pours. Because every time it thunders, it doesn't pour, right? So you could have a wife like Xantippe. You do anything. But you could still be okay. See, you cannot make miserable people happy. But you can cause them less distress. The trouble is we cause distress. So let's get our facts straight and hopefully then we will get everything straight. Who will read the next paragraph?
I can
May I
read, sister.
Janki ji? Oh, okay.
I don't know who said it. I don't know who have said. Please, somebody read it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Who said? Gayatri, had you said?
Yes, yes. Then,
Please go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
nevertheless, people devote all their time and energy to worldly acquisition and enjoyment. They spend their lifetime in acquiring material wealth.
Gayatri, this is not the topic.
Sorry, am I not on the right paragraph?
It's on the screen. A human being is composed.
Okay. A human being is composed of spirit and matter. His material components are his body, mind, and intellect. His spiritual core is the supreme self, Atman. The self remains ever the same, eternal, changeless. Whereas the material equipments are in a flux of change. The body changes, so do its perceptions. The mind changes along with its emotions. The intellect and its thoughts change too. These equipments make perennial demands from the world, which itself is constantly changing. Since both sides are in motion, their contact must necessarily cause friction, frustration. How then can there be any stability, harmony in their interaction? Any peace and happiness in the world? Should I stop here or read
Yes, please summarize.
Okay. The world itself is in such a fluid state, and there is so much happening around. I mean, there's a constant, demand and supply type of a thing happening within our minds also, and that causes agitation. So when we have to relate to our own inner self, that's the time when we get the true happiness. Otherwise, do we really see peace and happiness in the world?
Do it again, Gayatri. What is the point? Don't do any interpretation. Just tell us, what did Swamiji just say?
Yeah, that the human being is composed of spirit and matter.
Very good.
And
then second point.
And the matter, the material components are the body, mind, and intellect. And
Very
these
good.
are the ones that create agitation within us.
No. Say
Okay.
properly. A human being is composed of spirit and matter. Correct. Matter
Yeah.
is body, mind, and intellect. Now
Intellect.
continue.
And
what's happening to this body, mind, intellect?
They are in a constant flux of change.
Very good. What is happening to the self?
Self is supreme. Self is changeless.
Very good. Self is changeless. What is the third factor over here?
But the mind and intellect also change.
You already said that.
Yeah. So the third factor would be that since both sides are in, that is also related to body, mind, and intellect only. The cause for friction, no?
So when both sides are there, there must be a third factor, right?
Yeah.
What's that? What is that second side?
Make perennial demands. So the word is since both sides are in motion, the contact must. So how can there be any stability? So we have to look for stability and harmony.
Nobody has said anything of that side. Who told you to look for stability? Focus, 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 focus. Okay, I know teachers give mantras, to their student. I am giving you all a mantra. Focus, 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 focus. Except don't keep saying that, but remember mantra.
Equipments
What is
are
that?
in
A
flux
human
of
being.
body changes, so it's perceptions. He said the perceptions also change.
The outside world.
The world is constantly.
Yeah, okay. Don't get frustrated, everybody. Okay. When another person doesn't get it, we get frustrated, right? Go step by step. What are the three factors involved over here? There is the self, unchanging, out of the equation. Then what is the second factor here? There's our body, mind, intellect. What is the third factor here? The world. The world and the body, mind, intellect are constantly interacting. Why are they interacting? The body, mind, and intellect is making some demands upon the world. Now, where's the problem? How does the problem start? The problem is body, mind, intellect is changing, world is changing. Okay, so there's a square peg and a round hole. So this is going on like that, like that, like that, like that. Firstly, there is a square peg in a round hole. And then secondly, they're both moving. Now, how can these two things match? Because sometimes, suppose your mind says, I want a mango. Mind wants a mango. Then the world has come to April or May and mangoes are available. Very nice. Mind wants a mango. Month is May. You can have a mango. Okay. And then you're getting a mango, getting a mango, getting a mango. Suddenly mind says, I don't want a mango actually. I want a pineapple. All the mangoes in the world become useless in one flash like that. Or you want the mango and you're not getting a mango. It is December. In a flash. That is what causes mental agitations, internal instability. Causes no stability. They're both changing. The world is changing, mind is changing. Body, mind, intellect changes, world changes. How can there be stability between these two? Okay, paragraph clear. Now, one more minute to tell me what is the point of this paragraph? In one word.
Be objective.
Constant change.
Identification.
Where does happiness lie?
One word, Akhila.
Flux.
Change.
Is it related to desires?
No, no, Anisa. One word.
Change.
In the flow of thought. What
Contact.
did we end with? What did we end with? We said those who truth and wisdom lead can gather honey from a weed. That the whole poem was only indicating to us what happens when we don't do this properly, right? When we don't know the facts. He's explaining to us when you don't know the facts, you have reflected bliss. You do these two things, you indulge or you frustrate yourself. Now what is he doing?
Whatever comes your way is from the Lord.
Meera.
Friction.
Stability.
He's giving consequences, right, of not knowing this thing. He's giving a further explanation. He's giving a philosophical explanation, which he has just done very poetically. He's giving a philosophical explanation of what? Of the problem. He's telling us what is the problem. What is the consequence of us the consequence of us not understanding the truth leads us to instability, leads us to this kind of situation. And these are consequences. We are still on consequences of not understanding the truth. So, in terms of our flow of thought, it will be still consequences. Go to page 123. Nevertheless, people devote all their time and energy to worldly acquisition and enjoyment. They spend their time in acquiring material wealth and trying to find enjoyment. But this is not going to happen, basically. So, in one word, consequences. Okay. Hariom.
Jankiji, can you just request everyone in this class to write their summaries? It will be much easier to comprehend for them also, and the class will also move ahead smoothly. Could we do that?
You mean for the paragraph we are about to do?
For any paragraph henceforth, just everybody could write their summary and read it from there only.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yes, so please make your summary and come to class. I have said this for many years, but if Bharat saying it is making a difference, whatever, please do it. If you don't write your summary, what use is it after all? Write summary. Because the way you focus is by writing summaries and précis. So keep doing that. Okay.
But how are we so sure the summary is going to be correct by the person who's written it, unless somebody checks it?
We'll do in the next class, I think. No?
Paragraph summary you're going to write, and then you'll come to class and then you will know. So as you keep doing it, you just get better at it. You learn to focus.
Okay.
Thank you, Janki ji.
Hari Om
Thank you,
Janki.
Janki ji.
Hari Om
Hari Om
Janki
Janki
ji.
ji.
Hari Om
Hari Om
Janki.
Janki.
Thank you,
Hari Om
Janki ji.
Janki.